So today we're going to take a look at a scenario where Red Mesopotamia forms an empire. This is going to be the first of the wicks of What If Blank Formed an Empire series, so I hope you like it. So, first off, we are going to be ignoring stuff like the AN that would probably stop any sort of thing like this. Second of all, Red Mesopotamia is going to be buffed. And second of all, we're just going to ignore real diplomatic relations. Like say that Red Mesopotamia has mutual ties with everybody. Let's just say that. Okay, now let's get started. So who is gonna be Red Mesopotamia's first victim? Is it A, Armenia, B, Turkey, C, Palestine? If you guessed Turkey, well, you'd be correct. So, good for you. So, Red Mesopotamian troops cross the border of the Green Team country, and swiftly they will cut off this major city from the rest of the country, making the... Sorry if I start a live, they will capture the entirety of the major city, and they are basically gonna try the same thing with this major city over here. And I don't know why this is lagging. I just like to keep bloopers in because I don't know how to edit. But that's not important, because now the Red Mesopotamian troops do the exact same thing and cut off this major city from the rest of the country. Now, swiftly over time, this country is going to lose more and more major cities, and they're even going to make a spearhead over to this major city, and then make a landing from Cyprus, capturing this major city, cutting off the capital from the rest of the country, which now, modern day, isn't really necessary. Then they capture this final major city, and then over time, they capture the capital, forcing the Green Turks into a surrender. Okay, why does this recolor thing keep happening? Can somebody tell me how to remove this from happening? Because it's really annoying. But now let's take a look at the peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, the Green Turks are fully annexed. And now, for some reason, I really like these borders, and I don't know why. These borders just look pretty cool. Now, the next victim of the red team is gonna be the Palestinians, or Southern Levant, or Israel, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna call these guys Southern Levant and not cause any controversy. So, Red Mesopotamian troops start to flood in here, and they swiftly capture the capital of this country. And after capturing all of the major cities of this country, they'll be forced into a swift surrender. And in this peace treaty, we see full annexation. Who would have guessed? Not me. Not me. And after the red team starts moving in troops on the Armenian border, capturing more major cities, some countries are going to call out Mesopotamia for its imperialism. Now, more Red Mesopotamian troops are going to, if I can get on the right layer, they can move in. So, as I was saying, Red Mesopotamian troops start pushing on the west side of Armenia, turning a flank over here as they make it over to the sea, splitting the country in two and forcing this country into an immediate surrender. Now let's take a look at this peace treaty, which you could probably guess. Now, the Red Mesopotamians are gonna chill out for a bit. They just invaded 3 countries, and they kind of need to assimilate the land a bit. So let's say that 2 years have passed since the invasion of Armenia. Now the Mesopotamians are ready to go and invade another nation. That nation being Purple Hejaz. Who would have guessed? Now this is gonna be the Red Mesopotamians and hardest battle yet, as this is the strongest country that they have fought so far. So the plan is just moving through the desert or till the coast over here, or splitting the country in half, and making like a network of supply chains leading to different fronts. And so, that's the plan. And it comes into full swing here as the Mesopotamians form a spearhead to capture this major city. And now they send another force out here to go in and capture another major city. And now both decide to meet up with this major city. And now there's gonna be an invasion on this front over here, and over time, they're gonna meet up over here. What? What did I just say? Well, can I speak today? Okay. Basically, he capitulating this big area, but this country is actually gonna fight back over here. Seeing an undefended area over here, where the purple Hejaz country is gonna take that to their advantage, and put a lot of troops actively making a spearhead into Red and occupy land, capturing this major city while they're there. But it was too late, as they had to move some troops out of their capital to do this, but that just resulted in their capital getting captured, and as they effectively cut off this force over here, it's of no use, as they just cut off their thingy. So now all of this slowly falls over to the Mesopotamians, and the country is effectively left like this. The war turns into a stalemate as the Red team isn't really keeping this going. Like they're just waiting for a peace treaty at this point. But these guys won't give up. But you want to know what will make them give up? The blue Arabians is also invading in Purple Hejaz. Now, Purple Hejaz, they were not expecting this. They thought that the blue team was gonna be all neutral from now on, but no. They are gonna work together with the Red team to cut off this area of the Purple Hejaz country, and they capture these two major cities, and then they sneak along the coast. And after a while of this, the Red Mesopotamians and the Blue Arabians eventually meet up over here, and like the center point of the country. I feel like this would be the center point of the country, but yeah, and it's just cut off over here. Now, forcing this country to surrender. Now let's take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see that this country is kind of divided in half, except the Red team gets a little bit more since they did more work in the war. So the Red team gets that, and the Blue team gets that. Now, I hate these borders, but I don't know what I could do to fix them. So you're gonna have to stare at this eyesore. So I'm bringing you all down with me. Mwahaha. Now the Red team is gonna make an interesting move. They're gonna send an ultimatum over to Caucasia. Sorry. The ultimatum being, join us or die. And Caucasia, wanting the best for their people, they are going to accept the ultimatum. and fully join the Mesopotamian League. Now, why did the Red Mesopotamians just send an ultimatum to just full on invading them? It's because they know that they still have historical ties with the Caucasians. So if they just invaded them, that would make them look more bad than they do right now. So they're not gonna risk it. So I just wanted to explain that real quick. Now, next up, the Red Mesopotamians are gonna make an interesting move. A move about revenge, if you know what I mean. Revenge on an old pal. The red team is gonna be declaring war on Caspia. Because they can. And they want to. So yeah, historical beef here. So, because the capital is nearly bigger than the entirety of Caspia, I'm gonna take off the capitals layer for now. So the red team makes a landing on the Caspian coast, and they quickly cut off the country in two, and force this side into surrender. While the other side, they don't give up. But eventually they're forced. I'm not even gonna cut for this because it's pretty obvious what's gonna happen here. Full annexation. Who would have guessed? Next up, the red team's next victim is Ankara. So, the red team makes a push over in the eastern side, capturing a major city and snaking their way along the coast of Ankara. Then they make a spearhead over here to capture these three major cities. And eventually, they make a spearhead over to the capital, meeting up with this force over here, and effectively making like a spider web, like supply chain. And after that, they sneak their way along the coast to capture this final major city and force the country into capitulation. Now let's take a look at this peace treaty, like full annexation. Now, Crete/Anatolia is probably like gulp, because they know they're next. But in actuality, they're not next, because you want to know who really is next? Azov. Now, the red team is gonna make a naval landing on the coast of Azov, swiftly capturing the major city, and this one over here. And the gold team is gonna find an excuse to invade this country. Their excuse is that, well, we don't want the imperialists getting all of it, so we need to save this country while we still can. So we're now going to invade this country, claiming to save it, when in actuality they're just trying to get some of their old land back. So, they're gonna capture this major city and snake their way along here. And after that, the Mesopotamian force becomes one movement. And after a while, the country of Azov surrenders over to the outside invaders. Now let's take a look at this peace treaty. Now, in this peace treaty, we see basically a 50-50 split of the country. The gold team gets the northern half, while the Mesopotamians get the southern half. And now, no more Azov. F in the chat for Azov, because low-key they're underrated. And here's my OCD coming in. Now, like you've probably guessed, the red team is now gonna make an invasion of the Anatolian country / Crete. They're gonna make a naval landing on Rhodes and using the island as a hub to invade Crete, and make a naval landing over here, capturing a major city and snaking their way along the coast of the capital, capturing another major city along the way, and capturing that one as well. And eventually it leads to a full surrender of the Cretan / Anatolian country. no, we're not. Because it's pretty simple what's gonna happen here. Oh, well, what do you know? Full annexation. Who would have guessed? I did. And good point. Oh yeah, there's full annexation over here. But really, what did you expect, really? For them to split them with Greece? Greece probably hates the Mesopotamians right now. The Mesopotamians did bully Greece a lot throughout history, so it makes sense why Greece is not a big fan of this. Now, Mesopotamia is going to enter a rebuilding stage since they do have lots of casualties in the wars they fight, so they're just going to take a bit of a break and try assimilating all of the land they have. So yeah, Mesopotamians do that. A plan is going to be orchestrated. I'm not going to say which plan. Let's just say don't make a move is all I'll say. Now, after rebuilding, the red team is gonna declare war on their final target. That country being poor little Persia. So Mesopotamian troops start flooding in from the west, capturing a bunch of major cities and cutting off their coast from the Caspian Sea, so they can't get any aid from any foreigners that have access to the Caspian Sea. So yeah, they go along the coast and they capture two major cities. And Persia is way weaker than the Mesopotamians, since in these kinds of videos the imperialist countries is going to be buffed, so that basically means that Persia is extremely weak compared to the red team. And after capturing this major city, some countries have had enough of the red team's imperialism and want to put an end to it. Those countries being Greece, Egypt, and the gold team. These countries all declare war on the red team to try and end their imperialist ways and finally teach this brat of a country a lesson. So let's see how that goes. So Greek troops that were already stationed here are going to invade all Anatolian/Cretan land. They're going to make a landing on Crete, fully capturing the island, but they aren't able to capture Rhodes since that's now a military fort like Kaliningrad is now. The red team turned it into that, so good luck invading that. But Greece is going with supplies from Ukraine, and they are going to be able to snake their way along the coast, capturing a bunch of major cities, and doing a spearhead and capturing this major city. And they're going to make a landing on Cyprus, fully capturing the island, and then making an invasion around this bay little thing, capturing another major cities. So, well, the front isn't looking too good for the red team over here. Now, gold team troops are going to immediately flood in the northern border of the red team. And so far, so good. They snake their way along the coast till the Caucasian Mountains, and they capture some more major cities along the way, so including this one, and they're going to snake their way along the Russian border, hopefully not making any border skirmishes. But yeah, they also capture this major city, and they snake their way down and capture this one as well. Now back to the front with Persia. So the Persian front continues to go well for the Mesopotamians, and they sent a special force out here to capture this major city to then go and capture this one, then meeting up with the border of the yellow country and orange Afghanistan, effectively capitulating this entire area up here. And Persia is now having PTSD from a certain country that's no longer with us. So yeah, using foreign supplies as the red team, he goes along the coast over here, capturing a bunch of major cities, and India is like, yeah, we would help you, but we're kind of busy, like delivering some things, so we can't really help you right now. Sorry. And Persia is like, what the? Meanwhile, in the Egyptian front, they kind of just joined this coalition like last minute. Like they didn't really have a plan. And so, all the Mesopotamians are first to make a move over here. And Egypt is really weak. Like the Mesopotamians just snake away around the Carolina/America Canal. And they make their way into the Nile Basin. And after capturing the capital, that's just enough already for Egypt to surrender. They didn't have a plan, so they probably should have gotten one, but too late now. Meanwhile, on the Greek front, the Mesopotamians repel all this invasion and kick the Greeks out of Cyprus, and they make a landing over here in Crete, fully capturing the islands again. And the Mesopotamians decide to slam a bunch of troops over here, actively cutting off this front over here. And although it's being supplied by the Ukrainians, and their supply is not enough, as over time the Greeks are slowly kicked out of Turkey, and then they're fully kicked out. And now they're fully kicked out. Things aren't looking so good for the coalition. Because now, wrong color, because now the Mesopotamians are invading Greece itself. And the Greeks thought that they would be able to just hold a defensive line and sue for peace. But no, they were too weak for that. Because then they captured Constantinople. The reason I call it Constantinople is because technically Greece controls it. So it's not going to be called Istanbul. Sorry for any Turkish viewers. But yeah, over time the Greeks are slowly squeezed out of Anatolia. After capturing this major city and that one, Greece pulls all of their military forces out of Anatolia and decide to peace out with the red team, because even if they win, they will lose a bunch of resources from this war. So effectively, it's just not worth it in the end. So they're gonna sue for peace in the end. And Ukraine is like, you're really just gonna leave me here? At least send me some stuff, at least. No? Fine, I'll just deal with this myself. Okay, maybe I can't deal with this myself. Okay. Can we sue for peace? No. Oh, come on, please. You did with everyone. Why not me? It's because it's you. Fine. We'll fight this like nations. Glory will come to whoever wins in the end. We, as Ukrainians, have had a strong spirit that will never get broken ever. Our unbreakable spirit is what always led us to victories except World War I, but we don't talk about that. We will always win, and there's nothing that you can do about it, since our fighting spirit will be there forever. We will never surrender. We will fight until the end, and we will always win. Oh, you just captured our capital. Can we peace out? Sure. Darn. Now that Persia's allies are gone, they know that they can't win this. So after this major encirclement over here, and the capturing of these two major cities, Persia is going to surrender over to the Mesopotamians, meaning that the red team has won against the coalition war. Now let's take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see the red team gets some lands out of here, and they get a big old chunk out of Persia. These borders definitely do not look familiar. The red team takes a big old chunk out of Ukraine, and they take all the Anatolian lands from Greece and this little chunk of land over here, so they had full control over the Bosphorus Strait. And just for the sake of you guys as the viewers, I'm just gonna say that Mesopotamia somehow outbuys this area from Carolina / America. So that's the only reason I'm doing that. It's because I care about you guys. You guys should appreciate that. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. Smash the notification bell. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.